Welcome to INTROVERSE.
So we're all wearing hats now.
I'm at your service, yeah.
Nice. I like how you just had it ready.
I had it ready to go.
Like
Just
prepared,
like
man.
right
It's like
on
a
the
Boy
shelf.
Scout, always prepared. Need a hat? Got a hat.
He's got two.
Scarf?
He's got two
Boom,
hats.
scarf.
Yeah. You just never know what's going to happen.
What's the weather like in Nashville right now?
Today, the high is 68.
Nice.
So it felt
Nice.
good. It was a cloudy 68, but felt good.
Yeah. Not bad.
I think we were pushing 80 today. It was
Yeah,
actually
us
kind
too.
of hot here today.
This week we're in the 80s.
Oh,
Yeah. So what's been up, guys? I have some of you. Greg, I saw a few weeks ago in Nashville.
yes.
We got to catch
Nice.
up there at what was the name of the coffee shop?
The Sip Cafe was the coffee shop, and then East Side Bowl was the second.
Yes,
Okay.
East Side Bowl.
Yeah.
Is that like a marijuana joint place? They have those in Nashville?
No, it's a East Side Bowl. Believe it or not, is a bowling alley.
Oh, is that the big one with the... We were walking by and there's like construction and there's this huge bowling alley and they have like different games you can play as an adult. It's like a Dave & Buster's, but not Dave & Buster's.
No, this is a different place.
So you possibly were thinking of Brooklyn Bowl.
That's it. Yep.
Oh, okay. So that's the more famous one, kind of made after the one in Brooklyn. Yeah, East Side Bowl is kind of a trendier version of that, I guess.
It's got a
Cool.
vibe. It's
Nice.
it's actually modeled after, according to Greg, modeled after the Big Lebowski, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Sweet.
The Big Lebowski themed bowling alley.
you get a couple of white Russians.
I did discover this about Greg at the bowling alley, even though we didn't bowl, is that he is quite the bowler. He almost went pro, right? Is that what you said?
No,
Hey.
really?
Well, as a young kid, I wanted to go pro. I wanted to train to go pro and get good and be the first black pro bowler. But then I saw one on TV, and then the thrill was gone.
Yeah. So once you saw the first black pro bowler, it just stopped.
The dream died.
Well,
is that
the dream
so-
died.
Bowling a lot. I just don't have a desire to be professional.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I wanted to be special instead of just another
Yeah.
bowler. I don't
Right.
know why.
You're
You're special. You're special to us, Greg.
Thank you. That same itch didn't translate to other careers, but thankfully. But yeah, that's how it went with that.
Yeah, we should probably say something about what this is, right? This is.
I don't even know what this is.
What is this? This is going to be a podcast. This is our pilot episode, and we're calling it the Introverse. And do either of you, would you like to explain why we're calling it the Introverse?
I think the person who came up with the name should describe it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
Okay.
sense to me rather than trying.
Right. So someone, but it was actually Brent B who came up with or revealed the fact that which we all knew, of course, that we were all at some point in our lives very introverted. Some of us still are. We were thinking of titles that involved introverted individuals, and we settled on the Introverse because there's a whole lot going on inside of the introverted mind, I think.
More inside than outside.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all inside for the introvert, I think, right? And on occasion, we do let it out, on those rare occasions, in the right environment, in the right situation. And I think introverts are some of the most fascinating people, right?
Oh,
Because,
of course.
and I'm not just saying that because I am
Yes.
one,
We are.
but I think because we are introverted, when we do speak, when we do put ourselves out there, it's either for a reason or it's because we feel like we really need to. Like it's
Yeah. It's
there's
important.
right. It's important. It's like because
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would just keep it in because we would
Yeah.
prefer that.
Plus, you're also observing more, I feel, than the extrovert. You're listening.
Yes.
So you're taking that information,
I'm an
processing
active
it.
listener myself. Absolutely.
Mhm. I think that's why I like doing the podcast, because there's no audience right now. Just my friends, you guys.
Yeah, I'm not even paying attention.
Right? Exactly. I'm relaxed. It's cool. My camera fell, and it turns out that the camera that fell wasn't even on my laptop camera.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I heard that noise and I was like, did something break on Brent's laptop?
Took a second for my mind to process it.
You were like,
How is
wait,
it still recording me?
when did we realize we were introverts? Because I always just thought that that's what everybody was like when I was a kid.
Probably when I was about 3.
Wow.
I don't know. I
You
don't
were
know.
that self-aware at 3.
I just was always felt out of place. And then I guess as an adult, as an adult, I came across a book called The Quiet Listener, I think. Something like that. And I was like, oh, that's me. And explains like, yeah, when you're around a lot of people, you get exhausted, drains your energy. Kind of helped me learn how to manage it.
Right.
That was, I don't know, maybe in the 20s.
Just curious, what are our friend groups like? Like, how many friends would we say, like, close friends do we have? Because I feel like introverts generally their close friend group is smaller, right? At least mine is. Maybe that's just me.
I always only had one good friend at a time.
Interesting.
I can divide my life into who was my best friend at the time.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I went through my childhood. And I definitely didn't, I don't know, my sister is so outgoing and my dad is outgoing. And so just to navigate life with them, you had to be a listener because they were just doing all the talking. But yeah, my friend group, my best friend was Patrick for some years. And then my best friend was Greg Moody for some years. And then Alex James growing up. He still has the best friend title, right? But since we don't hang, my best friend locally here, Brandon, and then Nate, who I live with now. So it's always like a person or, definitely two. In college, Corey Mounts. Got to shout out Corey Mounts. So I don't want any of these guys to not hear their name.
Be like, wait, Greg didn't mention me. He said I was his best friend.
I don't.
No, I'm his best friend.
Yeah.
So it was like shifts. Yeah.
Yeah. They clock in, they tag in.
I follow the 5-finger rule. 5 friends. That's it. Two best friends that have been there for Dustin and then Burson.
Yeah.
Those have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But 5, I stick with 5. Any more than that, someone's got to go.
Right. Well, I feel like it's difficult. I feel like especially now with social media and just the glut of input that we have as people now, due to the internet and all this stuff. It's just stuff. Just constantly.
Oh, we weren't talking about social media? Because that's the only amount of followers I have. 5.
5. That's what
5
we'll
followers.
have for this podcast. 5.
And those are my friends.
But yeah, that's the thing, right? Because people have like hundreds of friends on social media, but it's like, I don't know, it's removed the specialness of the word friend.
Yeah.
I feel, because if you got 200 of them, how special can it be, right? Or some people have thousands. It's like, well, that's not really my friends,
There's a deep topic here to be had about the use of the word friends and in social media and the devaluing of the word. Definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
Very confusing to understand. You have hundreds of friends, but nobody responds to what thing you might be posting about. And then you wonder if you're just a piece of trash or what's going on.
Right.
So or having a woman view all of your stories and you can see it, but then they don't ever respond back to you. They leave your message on read and all that stuff.
That's just awkward.
Confusing. Yeah.
Been there. I can't stand it. I hate social media. I do it. I have like an Instagram account, but I don't really post much. I really have it to keep up with folks like Greg and friends that I don't get to see a lot because maybe they live in another state, just to see what they're up to. It's a good way to kind of keep in touch, but it's not really a viable source of communication. I feel.
I have Instagram with no followers, and it's only to make it easy to watch the reels that Robi sends me. I'm not even joking.
Man.
Yeah,
that's commitment. So do you?
Yeah, because otherwise, if you're not logged into the app, it sends you through the web browser,
right?
And then it asks you to log in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't ask you to log in. I was like, oh man, I guess I'm gonna have to.
Even if we don't talk for weeks at a time, like we'll always send each other reels on Instagram.
Scroll through our text messages, and it's like 40 reels over the past week. No responses.
Yeah,
just know it's funny.
Right, exactly. So we should maybe tell people a little bit about ourselves, just so they're just like these three random dudes who are just talking here. My name is actually Dustin, but I like to go by Robi or D. A lot of people call me D, especially in high school. Remember, you guys all called me D, and I was short, so
Little D.
They called me. Well, actually, no. Brian Young called me Big D. Because he thought it was ironic, and I called him Lil B because he was 6'2". So
yeah,
wow.
And I am a graphic designer / video artist / movie watcher. I don't know. I got my fingers in lots of pies. That's all I'm going to say. B, you go next.
Well, I'll start by saying me and you have known each other since the 5th grade.
Yes.
So. Yeah, that's 36 years.
Man, we're old.
Yeah. That's a long time, man. So yeah, I'm 46, got a couple kids, and I am a accountant by trade, and that's about it. I live a very boring life.
Numbers.
Previously done a podcast with Robi. Movie reviews, and that was fun.
Before we get to that, we'll say we'll go to Greg here, who has the most fascinating life, I think.
Oh, I doubt that very seriously, but yeah, my name is Greg, 45 years old. I'm an actor and musician / DJ in Nashville, Tennessee, and that's really it. I met Robi on the road probably 10 years ago or however many years ago.
Oh no, it's got to be more than that. Because it was a Mute Math show. I know that.
I don't know what year it is. It was the problem.
It was in New Orleans. I want to say it was. I think it was before the Armistice tour. I think they were still on the self-titled tour. Because here's the thing. We actually go back further than that because we were on a message board for the band. It was a Christian, I don't even know what you would call them, alt rock, reggae, rap band called Earthsuit.
Yes.
Earthsuit fans in the house? Anybody? No?
Oh, just me. I'm still a fan. I still call myself.
I'm still a fan too. Every once in a while, because the only thing of theirs on Spotify is Kaleidoscope's Superior.
Right.
The second album never made it there. So every once in a while, I'll just put that on and reminisce. But we met on a message board first, and he went by the moniker Quiet Entertainer, which I didn't realize meant he was his alter ego because he is a DJ and that is his DJ name. But we met there and we exchanged a few messages, and then he was kind of the king of that message board.
Oh, goodness.
Sort of the moderator, I should say. I guess you just seem to have the inside scoop on the band.
Yeah, I was pretty plugged in with Earthsuit and later Mute Math, and but I don't remember. I feel like we met in person when they were touring. Excuse me, I keep coughing right when I want to talk. I don't cough at any other time until I want to say something. But I think we met in New Orleans at House of Blues, and I want to say they were touring with Cinematics and Someone Still Loves You, Boris Yeltsin, and Club of the Suns. That's my earliest memory of
Okay.
meeting you in person. And so that,
I just remember turning around and seeing you jumping up and down, and I was like,
when I was still young, definitely.
that's gotta be Greg. I was like, that's gotta be Greg. Because man, you were into it. And I don't even think this was Mute Math wasn't even on yet. I think it was the opening band. But and so yes, ever since then we've sort of kept in touch, and I've worked with Greg. He done visuals for him for his songs. He's got music out there. I'm sure you're gonna talk about that.
Oh, well, yeah, I have music. It's under the name Quiet Entertainer. But I was also going to say, yeah, I was also probably the only black guy at the show. So it was also easy to spot that way. I'm easy to spot.
He was easy to spot. Also because of your height. You are not a short man. So
How tall
I
are
have
you?
11 out there to anyone who's trying to gauge it. I'm just 5'11". It's not
really. That's wow. Okay, then I'm just really short. Because Brent, you are 6'2", right?
Yeah, 6'2".
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've not met Brent in person yet, so
Not yet. We almost hooked
we
up. I
almost
didn't.
not like
Yeah.
that, ladies. But yeah,
No.
we almost met in person.
It was so close to happening. We locked eyes. And then Greg just turned and left.
Yeah. I was glad we were able to catch up in Nashville. Because again, I don't get to see Greg in person very often. And so that was a nice trip we had.
Do y'all two see each other in person much?
Yeah, we just saw each other a month or two ago. January?
Yeah.
End of January, beginning of February.
Yeah, I'm forgetting when that was. But yeah, it was this year. But yeah, Brent, we used to see each other
a month ago.
quite frequently, but
Yeah.
he moved away
to Tampa. Yeah.
to another state.
So yeah, I still try to make trips, trying to make them more often now.
Right.
But yeah.
This was going to be my year of trips, but we'll see. I guess the year is still only 3 months in.
Yeah. Still young.
Very possible.
I had anxiety all day because I'm like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Surely Dustin has a plan.
I'm
he's
usually
not
the man
us.
with the plan, but I would force myself. I was like, and I was super busy at work today, so I honestly couldn't have done anything if I wanted to. I was specifically saying, okay, we talked about this podcast being like Seinfeld,
Right, Seinfeldian.
in that Jerry and George, or Jerry and whoever, and Kramer, or Jerry and Elaine, or sitting in locations and just talking about seemingly mundane topics, but they're sort of finding what's funny and what's fascinating about those topics, just kind of everyday life type things. And that's what I was hoping that this could become, just three guys of a certain age, because we are all, what's a nice way to say this?
Yes.
We have reached a certain point in our lives
I think we're peaking. I'm proud.
Yeah, but I feel like we've accumulated a lot of life experiences.
Yeah, enough.
And I think it might be interesting to sort of share that. Whether or not people will be interested, that is, I do think that there's a lot of
stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
Yes, but we're all interesting people. I mean, you guys for sure are very interesting. Brent has lived an incredibly interesting life, and I don't know how much he's going to want to share throughout the episodes here, but yeah, it's just been,
We're referring to my time in the mafia, or
yes, your time as a mafioso, and
but But yeah, we'll
And,
talk about all the other stuff
overall
too. It's
kingpin.
good.
Greg's like, wait, what now?
Well, it was starting to sound like a eulogy for a minute, but now we're back.
Right.
We're going to talk about life.
It was close.
Well,
You're not
lived
Dearly
far,
an
beloved.
far
interesting
off the
life.
mark, Greg.
Dearly beloved.
It's a wonderful life, Brent.
Yeah.
No, but I do think that, Brent has lived a fascinating life. Greg, I've known you for many years, and that I always see the stuff you're posting, the things you've done, both acting wise and through your music. I mean, it's just, I think we've all lived interesting lives. You don't think of it that way in the day to day,
No.
getting up and going to work. And
We all have stories.
yes, we've got stories and we've got
Which brings us to our
experience.
next segment, story time.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? What did we do this weekend? Did we have a good weekend?
Oh, I was supposed to go to the beach, but it rained all weekend. And I did nothing. God.
As I was saying, we live fascinating lives.
Yeah. I knew going into this, the weekend, I now have to plan my weekends to do something interesting.
I'm trying to remember exactly what I did. The truth is, a lot of my days run together. This past weekend, here's a story for you, gentlemen. I went to a funk music night where a group of DJs plays with a live drummer. It's my favorite dance party in Nashville. They do it once a month. And I went there, and what was special about this time was I danced with a woman. And I haven't danced with a woman in a long time, and I was dancing and just kind of nearby, not wanting to be creepy or too close.
Right.
And then we danced, and I was kind of like behind her, okay? And she danced with her body next to mine, like pressed up against it. And I thought, is this okay? I guess she's initiating it. And I thought, this is amazing, and I haven't experienced this in so long. And I thought everything was great. And she turned around and was like, well, I guess we're friends now. And I thought, yeah,
nice.
I guess we are. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm in. And I don't have to try to initiate and dance with another woman.
Right.
The rest of the night, I can just do this. But then a song or two later, and I don't want to overdo it, so I try to dance. I try to not just be behind her the whole time. I try to dance around to the side. And when I danced around to the side, she leaned over. She's like, look, you got to give me some space. And I just thought, it was too much. She's like, yeah, just don't crowd me. You can still be close. Just don't crowd me.
What?
And I just thought, I wasn't trying to crowd you. I was just dancing in your vicinity, and then you initiated the physical contact. That's what I'm thinking. But then I was in my head the rest of the night. I'm like, am I too close? Am I giving her enough space? And I'm just like thinking too hard. And it's hard to have fun.
She said you're friends.
Exactly.
It's hard to have
She doesn't
fun
realize
when
what that means to you, Greg.
What's that?
You had to get rid of your one friend so she could come in.
I only have one friend at a time, as we established.
Yeah.
I'd not try.
Yeah, you lost a friend. She made it. And now she's asking for space.
I'm not trying to dance. So I didn't want to initiate with a new woman after that. And then I was just in my head. So, I left.
So nothing's changed.
I left the party
in the past
early.
30 years.
No, nothing's changed. No.
Still confusing.
Same old G.
Confusing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm married. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I don't. No offense, Greg. No offense, but
that was my weekend.
Because here's
so
the thing:
difficult.
when I was single, I actually looked at married guys in a negative light. Because when you talk to a lot of married guys, you hear the negative, right? Because they're talking with their guy friends, and they're like, "Yeah, man, my wife, whatever, blah blah blah." And it was like, man, I don't want to be married. That sounds like no fun,
Right.
I'm not saying it was Brent saying these things, but it was.
Were you married first?
Oh, yeah.
B was married. Yeah, he was married. He was
And
married,
way more
what,
times.
7 years old? You got married?
Yeah,
Right out of,
the first one.
yeah, so I had a negative perception of it until I found the right one. And that, I feel like that's the key, is that once you find the right
Yeah.
one, it just works. And then you're like, oh, okay. And so now when I hear like stories like Greg just said, it's like, I remember those days. It's just so like, you got to figure, and look, when you're married, it's still, an evolution, and you have to figure out how to live with the other person, and, what buttons not to push. And, it is an organic sort of relationship that you have to cultivate and work at, but it's not nearly as difficult as when you're single and you're trying to gauge. And I can't even imagine in today's world, with the way things have changed.
There's so many different spectrums, and everyone's on a different spectrum. And this person you can't even make eye contact with, or it's wrong. And this person, like Greg said, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Dancing up all on behind her and scoot to the side. Nope.
I wasn't dancing up on her like that. We were dancing together, or so I thought.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. In my mind, you were all up on her.
We were together. Yeah. Our bodies were connected, but I didn't initiate the connection.
No, I know. Yeah.
And so I thought I was good. Anyway.
Yeah, right.
You were good. No, you were good.
Yeah. I feel like
that wasn't on you.
When you moved to the side, like, so you didn't know her before you were dancing with her? You met on the dance floor, correct?
I met her on the dance floor at a different party.
Oh, okay.
The same day?
Second time seeing her. I met her
okay.
a week prior to this party.
But you weren't all up on her in the first one?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there's layers.
So she liked what she saw in the first one.
I think so. But
kind of snuck up next to you.
Right. Because part of me thought, like, if she didn't realize who you were, like, if you met in the original story, I was imagining that this was the first time you met on the dance floor. You started dancing.
Yeah.
She moves up against you. You're kind of whatever bumping and grinding, and then you move to the side, and she catches you in her peripheral. And all of a sudden, she's like, "Wait a minute, you're too close. Get out of my space." Like, we're friends, but
maybe she has an issue with eye contact. Peripheral eye contact.
I haven't. I've thought about this way more than I should, and so I was trying to think, why would she press her body up against me? And the only thing I can think of is she was trying to maybe push me, but maybe she was trying to create space. And she was trying to push me back.
Interesting. Everyone back.
She was trying to...
We got to make space for a dance-off here.
Playfully use her body to push me back.
No.
That would explain the force I felt. I was like, oh, she's like pushing up against me. But really, she was like, no, get like back up. Maybe
she was
trying to get
pushing you.
Up.
Oh, so you... Wow, okay. So it was more like an NBA defensive move. Like, it was like a...
Yeah.
She was like
she was on the post.
I misunderstood that. I'm pretty sure, if that's what was happening. If she was doing like a box out, then I didn't understand. I thought she was just like, our bodies are together. I'm a starving man also, so I could have I could have misinterpreted.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah. So well, this is not what I thought.
This is a curious story. No, I'd say for the next 45 minutes, we dive deep into this.
The most exciting thing that happened to me this weekend was that. So there it is.
And then that was
for the entire world. Yeah, I was so in my head about it. And I didn't want to start dancing with a new woman. And
right, you don't want to be that guy.
I left.
Wow.
I got spooked, and I was just like, well, can I just be here and not dance with anyone and just like dance alone again? And I was like,
right.
No, I don't want to.
Went right back into that introvert shell.
Yeah. I was just like, that did that. It's time to go.
Yeah. The other thing I realized, and I feel, because you said you have overanalyzed it since it happened.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's we're recording this on a Thursday, so several days it's happened ago, and you're still analyzing it in your head and questioning if you made the right decision. I feel like that is another introvert
Yeah, totally.
characteristic.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll think about this for the next week.
yeah,
And it didn't happen to me.
Let y'all handle
What did
some
she mean?
analysis for a little bit. You can report back to me.
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna do our over analysis and check in with you.
Was she
In a weird
Your
certain
wife's
who you
opinions
were?
and everything.
Was she like? Did she maybe think you were someone else?
How
And then
dark
when you
was
got
this
to-
place?
then when you
How
got to the
dark was the
front-
club?
No, she did a look. She did a look back to see who it was
Yeah.
first,
Okay,
and then we made eye contact, and then we were dancing, and so
Oh,
Okay.
so
no,
maybe it was
she
an
knows-
accidental at first.
She knows it's me, so we're
Yeah.
good. And then, like I said,
It's like,
we
okay,
Interesting.
go back there.
she made the friends comment like, "Oh, I guess we're friends now." And I was like, "Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We're intimate. I know you intimately now."
Yeah. And you're texting the other
We were-
Greg saying, sorry,
No,
you got to go. Yeah.
Isn't that weird how you can be like super close to a friend when you're a child? Like, I had a friend when I was a kid. This is before I even met Brent, and I was homeschooled for my first 5 years of school, K through 5th, by my mother. And she was a smart enough homeschool mom to realize when it got too difficult for her. She had a high school diploma, but I had a friend back then, and we hung out all the time and had sleepovers, and we were best friends. His name was Kyle, and I swear to you, I have not spoken to that dude since he graduated from high school. Like, have not made. Well, that's not true. I did film his wedding, but after that, I don't.
So you worked for him.
Well, I did it for free. It was actually the first wedding I ever shot, and I did it for free just to see if I could do it and if I could make a business out of it. And he was getting married, and he's like, "Well, if it sucks, I wasn't going to pay you anyway." So,
Right. But at that age too, like, because we met, we were 10. So that was before being 10, 8 or whatever. You just put two kids in a room and they're friends. You
That's
know,
true.
most times, at least back then.
yeah, or somebody's
you
bit,
know. Somebody's what?
like bitten.
Okay. I don't get it.
You've never seen kids go at it like if they're.
Oh,
That's
they bite each
mine,
other.
and they just start
Yeah.
biting each other. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Oh, bit like
Yeah.
past tense of bite. Okay,
At first, I
Yeah.
thought you said, or you become someone's bitch. I'm like, what?
like what?
Little 8-year-old. Okay, now you're my bitch.
That was my
Hold my
attempt at a
pocket.
joke, and it's like it was like a dead trout, just like washed up on the shore. No one, nothing.
You can't win them all.
Anyway, anybody else had a friend when they were kids that you just don't even talk to anymore?
Oh, yeah. Everyone.
Even like I said, my close childhood friend Alex, we're still in touch, but we don't talk as often as we used to. He's married with 2 kids, so our lives are just so different now.
That'll do it.
If I went back through my whole chain of, whoever had the best friend championship belt at any given time, he's the last one that I really talk to. Corey from college, we still check in, say happy birthday to each other. Adrian. So speaking of bowling, my best bowling friend, Adrian, I wonder how he's doing.
Adrian.
I used to talk to him. I used to call him on the phone as a kid, and I used to always, I don't know, it used to happen whenever they were sitting at dinner, him and his family. I just used to always, just bad timing, I guess.
Yeah, you remember calling people?
Yeah,
Remember
I
that?
used to call
Call 'em.
people on the phone.
Hey.
Now that's terrifying.
Hey.
I don't want to talk
Yeah.
to anyone on the phone.
What's hilarious to me is that everybody is constantly looking at what we still call, for some odd reason, a phone,
Yeah, that's the
But
primary name, a phone.
but we never use it as a phone.
Someone
I mean,
calls me and I'm
literally,
like, oh my
unless-
God, someone died.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When my mother calls me, I'm like, oh Lord, which relative is it now?
Yeah.
Because even my mom, who is in her late 60s, still looks fantastic. She texts me now because she's learned that that's the way to get a response. That sometimes if she'll call and like I'm doing something else and I will just glance and be like, oh, I don't have time to talk right now, I won't be able to answer the phone. But if she texts me, I'll probably respond to her quicker, you know?
My mom gives me guilt trips. She'll call, like I'm in the middle of something, can't answer. Immediately, hey, I tried calling you. Like, yeah, I know. I saw it. Well, dot.
Not me.
Where's
I'm
the
sitting here
callback?
waiting. I'm waiting for you to call me back.
My family has learned that I won't answer the phone, and I really do try if I'm available, but I have all my calls sent to voicemail immediately anyway. And so then I can call back whenever. But I've trained everyone that I'm busy. And so
I never check my
get back
voicemail.
to people. I check voicemail is pretty amazing if people would ever use it. I tell you what.
The only people who use it are the spammers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like I get like 2 or 3 voicemails a day, and it's always like, we have this credit card offer for you, or
I get those sent to spam folder, but yeah, I'm definitely like a voice message guy on Instagram or WhatsApp or any of those things. I much prefer we like leave voice messages back and forth, because sometimes it's difficult for me to even text. Like I gotta type out a text, or I gotta worry about autocorrect, I gotta do all the things. And it's a
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's so weird how these devices have sort of taken over our lives, and they've become an extension of us, you know? Like I want to do a full episode on phone zombies, because I just come into contact with these people on a regular basis where it's just they are oblivious to the outside world. They are just, this is their reality. The phone is their reality. I mean, it's insane to me. Even while driving or doing things that I saw a guy on the way back from work today cutting grass with like one of these giant tractors. I mean, he was cutting a field.
Okay.
And not paying attention. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like giant spinning metal blades underneath you. And you're just like, I'm good.
Seems really dangerous.
It is. Like, you should not. It's like they always have those signs: do not operate heavy machinery under alcohol or drugs. But they should have it also while looking at a cell phone. Like, you should not be operating a backhoe while texting. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's it was crazy to me. And I almost got in an accident looking at him looking at his phone, like in just mouth agape, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, it's crazy how they've taken over.
You've got to be careful.
We're talking about phones. Be exited for a second there.
I had to take care of some business. Another issue with getting old.
I took care of some
all the
great
time.
business before I got on this call, let me tell you. One of my better business trips, if I do say so myself. I feel quite
Is that a thing with look, I've never gotten into this kind of conversation. Is there like a competition somewhere online I don't know about where people are taking pictures of their business, posting it? And
not that I know of.
I know there's a thing. I've never done it. No, I have not done it, but I have a feeling that it is somewhere, not even on the dark
Maybe
web.
within small groups.
Right.
You know, little circles.
Yeah, there's like a Facebook group.
You know.
There's a Discord server or Reddit thread with it.
Right. Competition.
I'm not going to go searching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
But I occasionally will bring it up for comedic effect. But nothing, you just use your imagination.
No, I love talking about it.
Well, you would.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite subjects. Yeah.
You've got the best business stories. I mean, honestly.
I've got great stories. I don't know if we're going to give any today, though.
No,
But
we gotta save some of those.
Just say we have an entire podcast. We've got seasons worth
yeah,
of time to get into all that.
yeah,
That's
These
why
are-
this podcast was formed. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
yeah.
We're
You'll
talking
either
business.
die laughing from it or have nightmares for the rest of your life.
Dude, I did have nightmares after, because in a certain way I was involved in your business. That's
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah,
There's
he
so
had
much
his hands
egg,
out
there's
as it
so
dropped.
much. This could be anything.
Ooh, it's warm.
No, it was not that. But in a way, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to bring it up yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in a way, I was involved in his business, and yes, his stories are fascinating. Those of you who are tuning in, people don't tune in anymore. Those of you who
They
have
dial
stumbled,
in. Do you dial in?
no, they don't dial in either. It's stumbling upon. Those of you who have stumbled upon this podcast, just know that the stories are coming,
Yeah, they're
and
going to
they
get
are
raunchy.
amazing. They are amazing. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you have any shows coming up, Greg? Anybody who's in Nashville listening might want to check out.
No, I'm DJing tomorrow night and Saturday night, but they're not shows. I'm DJing
Okay.
at a pinball arcade. It's like a benefit, like bar sales go to the Trevor Project. It's to commemorate
Nice.
our friend who committed suicide last year. And then I'm
Oh,
doing my regular gig at Lucky Duck Lounge on Saturday. The shows, the big productions that I like put my name on, the big quiet entertainer shows, those are fewer and further between these days. But and I've had to cancel some gigs. But there's one in Columbia, Tennessee, and I think May 31st, and then my big one hopefully is Saturday, August 10, where I'm gonna try to do some cool stuff. That's down the road, but
Yeah.
the time this
Yeah,
episode
nice.
airs, who knows? We'll see.
And we probably should mention you do have a new album out.
Yeah, I had Quiet Entertainer theme music is out there for everyone to check out. It's on all streaming platforms. And if you, hopefully by the time, everything's gotten pushed back. My life has gotten crazier. But I have a live album and DVD that you can technically order right now and watch right now if you go to quietentertainer.com. But yeah.
I will say the editing on that DVD is on point.
Oh yeah.
As well as the music. Not to slight the music, but this is one of the projects that I worked with Greg on.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah. So-
Robi helped me make it look super professional and great and artsy and artistic. And
well,
a
I
lot
don't
of
know about
people
all that,
helped
but-
me, but that really put it over the top. So yeah, definitely an Introverse sponsored, approved product is the newest Quiet Entertainer stuff. But yeah, theme music is out there, and that's an album I hope everyone checks out.
And B, you've got some spreadsheets you said that you were going to share.
Yeah, specifically one with a lot of VLOOKUP formulas, a couple pivot tables, mostly looking at financial statements, P&Ls, balance sheets,
Right.
Profit, loss.
B, are you
Gotcha.
are you familiar with Zapier?
Zapier?
Yes.
No. What is
Like
that?
that looks like a no. It's just a site. It connects
No.
different apps together, and
Okay.
you can use it without any knowledge of coding. No free commercials for Zapier. I was just curious if you were familiar
Yeah.
with it. They need to
No.
sponsor our podcast.
No, but that sounds cool.
They do
Yeah.
they do some cool stuff with spreadsheets. I'll send you a link or so
Yeah, send that to me. That's cool.
for sure.
Nice. I have not heard of that either. I don't have anything out other than Greg's live DVD that's coming out. I was a part of that. If you're driving in my neck of the woods, which I haven't said where, but I do live in Louisiana, you may see a billboard or two that I designed. So yeah, that's out there. So be on the lookout for that.
Very cool.
Yeah, we should leave everyone with a little taste of Quiet Entertainer. Throw some music in there.
Is that cool? Do we have permission?
Oh yeah.
It's too late to put him on the spot. Yes, they agree.
Yeah, that's great. I was getting overwhelmed. I thought I was gonna have to make an Introverse theme song. I was just like, I don't have time to do that. But yeah, just you can play a track.
Yeah. We'll just play one of my favorite tracks from theme music to close us out here.
Oh, cool.
I believe it's Possibility, right?
Oh, is that your favorite? Okay, yeah, that's right. You did say that.
Yeah, this is my favorite.